Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us at SnapperNet and Vodia for today's webinar titled Introduction to Vodia. My name is Rupert and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for APAC for Vodia. So before we dive into discussing Vodia, let me start with a brief overview of SnapperNet and who they are. SnapperNet has been a top value-added distributor and an industry-leading VoIP provider of software and hardware solutions for nearly 2 decades. What really sets them apart from other distributors is the vast offering of products and services which are under the umbrella of their channel management, as well as their pre- and post-sales support and technical support. SnapperNet really strives to identify what customers specifically need and then deliver a tailored solution for you that is really going to assist you. SnapperNet live by their model of understanding, partnership, and knowledge. Many of their sales and support people have previously worked in system integration and have been in your shoes, dealing with the day-to-day issues of technology, sales, and support. So, they see things from their clients and the channel's perspective. Partnership. SnapperNet is very channel focused and are always striving to create opportunities for the channels. Because they value the resellers as feet on the ground, this means they fully support these channels with backup support and pre- and post-sale support. Knowledge. SnapperNet stand by the products they sell. This is achieved through webinars like this one, as well as training sessions and personalized tech support. For SnapperNet, adding the Vodia portfolio is one of their biggest announcements of 2019, and they are now an enabled distribution partner. SnapperNet also distributes an array of Vodia-compatible IP phone manufacturers, as you can see from the screen, now like Snom, Grandstream, Yelink, and more. If you are interested in learning about what they offer from Vodia or how they can help you with Vodia distribution, you can send the team an email at sales@snappernet.co.nz, as well as calling them on 09 415 4182. So at this time, we're going to segue over to the Vodia portion of the webinar. We're going to go through some slides here to give a little introduction on Vodia. And I can tell you up front that what you are showing today is a small subset of some of the things this PBX offers, but we wanted you to at least whet your appetite with some of the great features of what we have here at Vodia. So just a little about who Vodia is. Some of you may recognize some of these names. We started as PBX and SIP back in 2006, doing hosted probably a little ahead of our time, but the web has caught up. We were also Snom 1, and then since 2012, we have been Vodia, and since then, we have been revising the way we provide on-premise IP PBX technology. We are a privately owned US-based company, and we are headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts. So what is the Vodia PBX? It is a web-based software PBX, and it works and integrates with all the popular SIP phones and SIP trunk providers. We do support both single-tenant and multi-tenant deployments. We will be talking a little about that as we go through the presentation. We have our own API integration, multi-platform. In other words, we can load this onto any operating system like Windows, Linux, or even Mac potentially, and we can offer both on-premise or cloud. You as the reseller have the option to do on-premise or cloud. Either way, it is secure, reliable, and built by us. What I'm showing you here is just some of the phones that integrate with as well as the hosted platform, so anything SIP we are going to operate with. And here is a slide to show some of our technology partners, mainly the phones and IP gateways, the soft phones and things like that. Again, a small subset of some of the other partners we work with as well. So let's talk about the single tenant side of this. So CPE, customer premise side equipment, are available in different editions. We have 3 editions: the Standard, the Pro, and the Enterprise. And each edition is available starting with 4 concurrent calls all the way up to 1,024 simultaneous concurrent calls. And just in case anyone has questions about what constitutes a simultaneous call, inbound calls, outbound calls, as well as extension-to-extension calls are all going to count as concurrent or simultaneous calls. The nicest thing about this model is the unlimited extensions available. So we're not talking about billing by extension anymore, but rather we are billing by concurrent calls. So if you add more people, you do not need to change the license as long as you do not go over the concurrent call usage. Other than that, recording is in the Enterprise edition. In the Pro edition, we do manual recording as well. These all come with LAN provisioning. There is a session border controller built into all versions, so that it is actually built into the PBX. Easy upgrade licensing. As support is both in the USA and in the APAC region. Like we mentioned before, this can be used in either Linux or Windows operating systems and can be cloud or premise-based. As far as single tenant, it can be in the cloud, whereas multi-tenant is always going to be in the cloud. But for the CPE side, we can do single tenant as well. So the multi-tenant edition has all the telco features of a traditional PBX with a modern touch. It has built-in billing and managed voice features, all rolled up into the one executable. Works again with all major SIP phones and SIP trunks, all with the highest level of protection. Some bullet points we have here include integration with Stripe billing. So as far as billing for the PBX is concerned, you can use Stripe payment gateways. DNS made easy. Let's Encrypt APIs are in there. That will allow you to use domain names that would be fully qualified, as well as Let's Encrypt will create the certificate for those as well. We have speech to text using Google API, DID management, all in one place for the domains. So you can assign DIDs to different domains and extensions. The biggest point here is the one core, one server, one instance. So we're talking about one instance of the PBX to do multi-tenant. By comparison, some of our competition have to create a separate instance each time you require another tenant. Here it is one PBX where you go in and create another domain or multiple domains on that one instance of the PBX. Voice encryptions and WebRTC, we're going to talk a little about later. Vodia APIs allow you to do on-the-fly automatically create domains and users. We do support RPS provisioning of phones, fast deployment, like I mentioned earlier, as well as a fully integrated session border controller. We also work with the 911 bandwidth API, which allows a location to be assigned to each extension number. We are Google friendly. We do SMS and MMS notification and voicemail notifications. So if you get a voicemail, you can get a text letting you know about it. As well as the automatic recording with the multi-tenant edition is in the Enterprise edition. So you're going to get all the features if you do a multi-tenant hosted. SIP trunks is the de facto PSTN terminology today. So everything today is going on SIP trunks. If you're not there yet, you soon will be. The Vodia PBX can have multiple SIP trunks depending on the license. The standard license can have one, but the others offer multiple SIP trunks and flexible setup. There are many ways to describe the SIP headers. There is some predefined vendor setup with different number interpretations. Plug and play is possible here. There is actually a drop-down list in the administrator part where you can pick the trunks that are being used most by putting in the username and password, and you're pretty much set up in a few seconds and ready to go. We fully support SIP, TLS, SRTP, RTCP XR. So again, Vodia is always about the security and high-end security of the Vodia PBX system. Vodia provisioning offers truly zero-touch LAN provisioning, as well as cloud provisioning, RPS and SRPS integration. So that is one way to provision things as well. You have LAN discovery through multicast packets. Basically, you're going into that one page and you will see all the phones that are there. And you pick a setup button and assign an extension, and you are pretty much provisioned and ready to go. One of the key things we do as well, and I believe our competitors do not do this or do not do it as well, is buttons. So you are able to provision different buttons by different templates built for certain phone models. So definition for all supported phones are completely manageable through the web interface with a large number of supported models there. So all the things you would expect from an easy to use PBX system with zero touch provisioning, with click to set up, so you can set up all the phones one by one, making it simple and quick. Integrations. So integrations with CRM packages is just the tip of the iceberg. There is always going to be all sorts of integrations going forward, and Vodia is prepared for that with the API details and ability to integrate with many customer requirements. We have already added integrations for voice recording, billing, CRM, hospitality, call analytics, and many others. We currently have a deep integration with Salesforce, where the WebRTC actually runs inside of the Salesforce tab, so you do not require an external soft phone. You can make all your calls from within there as well. That does require the advanced Salesforce contract, but if you have that, you are all set to go. We have integrations with HubSpot and Zoho. Again, these integrations are based on our JavaScript backend, so further integrations become easier, as well as existing integrations can be changed on the fly. We can work with these based on the JavaScript backends. We also have an Info integration for hospitality, which is based on FIAS, and the FreshBooks integration for the hosted PBX billing information as well. So full integrations now, with many more coming as required. Soft phones are taking the next step and are always on Android and iPhone, where the networks allow you ultimate mobility. It is today a serious alternative to VoIP desktop phones, so people can just use a soft phone. As far as the soft phones we support integrations with Counterpath, which is available across the large range of devices. And we have an API integration with the Counterpath Stretto. And then Zopia as well. Each installation from the App Store and the PBX will actually send an invitation email with the QR code, so you only need to scan the QR code for the extension to be fully set up, so you can make and receive calls. We also have the voice operator panel. Well, actually, if you look at our inventory of webinars, we did do a webinar on the integration of the voice operator panel. These are the focuses on the switchboard options we offer call center agents, but a great interface that shows calls, dispatch easier, and does have the built-in soft phone as well. WebRTC. Web browser conquers the IT world. So this serves as a soft phone replacement that is just using your browser to make and receive calls, and you do not need to install any additional software. Receive incoming and outgoing calls. This is not just for conference calling. This can be for all your calls. So the WebRTC is built in there so you can make as well as receive calls using WebRTC as completely as a replacement again, even for your desk phone. It works on Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge. The original WebRTC server that we use inside the Vodia PBX, we have support for Acme and Let's Encrypt. And the Android app itself, our mobile app, is based on this. So you can use this on your mobile phone using the Android app. Speaking of cell phones, cell phone integration is now a total reality in the business world right now. So people are using their cell phones again in place of soft phones and in place of the hard desk phones. Sometimes employees are hesitant to give out their private telephone numbers, and they don't want that out there for everyone to know and use, so the PBX can route the inbound calls to your cell phones. If you're a low call volume, you can certainly use just your cell phone. Callers are not really going to know the difference, and it works with direct calls, hunt groups, and even ACD. So inbound calls can be sent to your cell phone. Your direct calls, if you are part of a hunt group or ACD group, can get these calls on a cell phone as well. And you can use it for outbound calls. And when you use it for outbound calls, you're going to present the office caller ID. So as far as anyone knows, you are calling from the office. By doing this through the PBX, you avoid paying international call charges and the money you might be charged from the mobile as the calls are going through the PBX and not your cell phone. This also reduces the quality of service issues if your mobile data is flaky. You can use your cell phone, and that can be your perfect office. The session border controller, I have mentioned this once or twice. So this is built right into the Vodia PBX and has been an integral part of the PBX since its commencement in 2006. And it works for both near-end and far-end NAT transversal, so eliminating the cost for a separate router as it is built right into the PBX. It will support multiple IPv4 and IPv6 addresses, and it makes a mix on the LAN, WAN, VLAN, and VPN all possible with IPv4 and IPv6. Calls are no problem with the SBC. It is integrated with the provisioning model of the PBX, and it reports to the front end and can even send out emails, and it becomes an automatic denial of service defense as well. Agent groups or call queues. So Vodia support call center features including call queue, switchboard, and position announcement, which allows the callers to know where they are in the queue and also to give them the option to stay on the line for their turn, or they can activate a callback, which will be initiated by the Vodia PBX when an agent becomes available. It will go ahead and place that outbound call. So you will have the position announcement as well as the statistics. So full statistics can be used through the user portal, web-based switchboard. You can redirect calls so that if there are queues that are going to take too long, the calls can be redirected. As we mentioned, the callback feature, virtual office support. You have your whole capability with the message and music cycle going back and forth. We even support an outbound calling campaign where the PBX can actually pull numbers from a list and present them to available agents. We have log in and log out button at configuration, and we can do local call recording as well as SIP-REC. All that is supported to offer a good array of call queue and agent group functionality. We have some large call centers out there using these features. Then a lighter version of ACD can be a hunt group or ring group, and that is just a set of extension numbers embedded inside a single virtual extension, and incoming calls are going to be routed through that pool of extensions until someone answers and the caller is connected. Again, cell phones can be part of this and included in the hunt group call. You have 3 stages that can be set up. Custom ringtones, so you know if the hunt group call. You can display the group name, caller ID. It's going to send you daily reports, and there is a night service feature so that at night things can be done differently through service flags we can set up so that the calls can be answered differently or sent to different extensions at different times. Hardware. So a couple of pieces of hardware here, one coming soon and the other already available. The Vodia I/O is not available in the US yet, but is available in APAC. This contains a router, DSL, fiber, Wi-Fi, DECT phones, and the PBX itself and Bluetooth, and many other features. This is going to address shops, restaurants, lawyers, medical clinics, and small offices that do not need multiple devices or shouldn't have to get multiple devices when you can have all of that in one device, as well as your phone system and the PBX right there. Most of the connecting phones will be decked, but other phones can be connected to this as well. Obviously, SIP phones, even through ATAs, are not a problem. This is currently available in Europe and APAC, but still not available in the USA until spring 2019. That is only a few months out, so that should be available very soon. Something we're a little excited about is the Vodia IOP, and that is out now. And this device only contains the PBX and is connected using an Ethernet cable. It can run any of the CPE licenses. It is good for 16 simultaneous calls, or if you're recording 8 calls. It has a 64 gigabyte industrial SD card, which makes thousands of hours of recording possible. The Vodia IOP offers a very attractive retail price and again is available today through SnapperNet. This is a device that can easily be deployed and can be sat underneath the desk or placed on the wall. As you can see, the corners have mounting holes to allow placement anywhere. So a nice small device with everything one would need in a PBX. It's the full PBX, no bigger than a deck of cards. It is pre-licensed with a standard 4 concurrent call license already on board and ready to go. You just need to add phones and trunks and you have got yourself a complete phone system. Well, that concludes today's webinar. And please consider this as a small subset of the other webinars in the series, hopefully to whet your appetite to see more and talk more about it. You can reach us at sales@vodia.com, so feel free to send us an email. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to communicate with SnapperNet or for any purchases you would like to make. Thank you.